Welcome to another episode of OG55 Live. I got Mr. Webber in the house today. We got Candid Camper and Jared from Capture the Magic. Today, we are going live. We are talking about what attractions and maybe even some lands could use major updates. This is a topic that our good friend here, Candid Camper, brought to my attention. That's a great idea. There's a lot to dive into. We'll do Disneyland Resort. We got Jared here. We'll also do some East Coast Walt Disney World up next here on OG55 Live. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55 Live. Now, before I introduce you fine gentlemen, I just thought this comment was great. The whole company needs work. Just the whole damn thing. Whole thing, everything. I love it. Great comment, James. But we have a fantastic show for you all planned today. We have a great panel. We got Mr. Webber back in the house. Mr. Webber. Actually, we have a lot of Webber content. We recorded a bunch of stuff tonight. So there's a lot of Webber content on the horizon, but Webber, welcome back, sir.
OG, thank you so much for having me on with Candid Camper and Jared from Capture the Magic on this live. This is going to be a really fun discussion about attractions and lands. I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Yep, you can find me on Threads, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and my YouTube, Mr. Webber at Webcast Citizen. You can also find me on Orange Grove 55.
Yep, but you know where you won't find them? Grinder. So
are you sure about that?
And I didn't find him.
And okay, there it is. Never mind.
Mr. Candid Camper, welcome back, sir. How are you today, man, my man?
Well, I got a lot of research to do now. I'm doing all right. This time change is catching me, but we're good. We're here. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Absolutely. It's good to have you. Where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Yes, sir. You can find me here on YouTube, over at TikTok, and a little bit on Instagram at Candid Camper TPT.
There he is. And last, but certainly not least, the one, the only, Mr. Capture the Magic himself, Jared. Welcome back, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for having me. I'm usually, not very opinionated, so I don't know how we're gonna. I'll try my best to have some critiques there. But I will say the time changes get me a little bit too. I hate when you lose that hour. It just feels like your day all of a sudden, like especially the day it happens, you're just like, what happened to my entire day? But eventually I'll adjust, and then the time will change again. But you can find me at Cap the Magic, and that's everywhere: YouTube, social media, and then if you want some East Coast theme park tips, you can go over to CTM Podcast as well with my wife and I, if you're looking for ways to save some money and things like that. And I did see Rogue Attractions at the spring break crowds suck. I'm going to experience that because my daughter has a dance competition at Disney World this coming weekend. And those it's going to be just nuts with like dance groups and also. So it's keep me in your thoughts and prayers with that one. Cause I'm just going to be, I don't know if I'm writing anything because everything's going to be like an hour, 2-hour long wait, I'm sure.
Oh my God. And that's next weekend?
That's this coming weekend.
Oh, this weekend. Oh, wow.
Friday. Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be fun. Like she's dancing. She's really excited for it, but it is like a bunch of 10 and 12-year-old girl dance groups everywhere. I'm just like, okay, all right. Well, get myself in the mindset there.
Yeah. It's funny because my sister, we're pretty close in age. She's only like a year younger than me. But when we were kids, she was in the ballet.
Oh.
And she actually did it professionally for a little bit into her early adult years or whatever until she was like 20 or whatever. But anyway, long story short, I had to sit through so many ballet recitals. But
yeah.
But I'm not gonna touch ballet because they got Timothy Chalamet in trouble. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But I had to go to a lot of ballet recitals,
When my daughter's dancing, I watch it. When everybody else's kids are doing it, I don't care. Like my son sits there with me, and I'm just like, let him play with an iPad in between dances or something. But yeah, I feel it. I have plenty more in my future. So it's just, it's one of those things.
Absolutely. And Remy D here says, hey guys, wow, just coming off a Conductor's live stream. Conductor and Mr. Tommy Toon are in Walt Disney World for the very first time, doing some great content over there. Big shout to Remy D and a big shout to Conductor and Mr. Tommy Toon.
I'm actually
All right.
going to see them while I'm in Orlando. So I'm gonna hook up with them while they're in town. But he did say
Nice.
he was very impressed with Epic.
Yes. I mean, it looks like an amazing park, you know.
It's a cool park. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. They need to add more capacity, but visually and the attractions look amazing, you know.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Now, Candid, Mr. Camper, this is your topic idea. Where should we start, buddy? Like, what ride do you think needs a major update?
And it's just kind of capping this all up, like update means refurb, destroy, mostly destroy, put a new IP into it just because it's old or just because it's a space that we want to keep or use for something else. So me personally, I'm going to go with kind of a double, but we're going to go with the submarines, and I also want to go with Autopia. I know that they signed a big old contract with Honda. Honda just fucked everything up, so we can all blame Honda for Autopia. I do like that they tried to add some weird little astronaut dude in there to help out, but that's not enough. If you go over to Disney World, I feel bad for you guys. That is just literally a asphalt heat. Just
It's a go-kart. It's a go-kart track in the middle of the Magic Kingdom, is what it is.
It hurts. It hurts. So that's kind of what I feel like. I think that if we move forward into anything as far as upgrading, I think that really needs to get touched. But I like what they're doing in the parks right now with some of these other rides and roller coasters, retracking them, fixing the theming, adding more show scenes. That's kind of what we need. Disney didn't want the park to stay stale, so we got to make sure that we're adding new things to it. The thing is that we got to add it the right way. We shouldn't be taking things out because we're trying to appease a certain small group of people. We should be changing things because we want to have it changed as a group. And hopefully Disney gets back on board of making magic instead of trying to please people.
Right, and also that area, the Autopia submarine area at Disneyland, we are very low on space out here. And I mean, you know, Disney had to go through all those hoops to get the Disneyland Forward stuff, right? All that zoning to open up all that land. And we do have a lot more land to work with now, but we're still limited with what we got. To have that many acres for Autopia is absolutely ridiculous. I actually was saying that I believe that if you would have got rid of the submarines and Autopia and kind of readjusted the monorail track, that's where Pandora should have gone, because that's really the perfect kind of transition between Tomorrow and fantasy is Pandora. It's a sci-fi thing, very Tomorrowlandy, but then you also have the it's the fantasy element of it too, though, right? So it was a perfect segue. The rock work and all the water would have been really cool in that area, but no, they D23. Nope, going in DCA. I'm like, okay, well, got to do what you got to do. We still have time. Candid and I did a great video on that actually. Like just a few days ago, actually. I think it was like last week or something. But Jared, you're an East Coaster. You're a Floridian. What's on your mind? What would you want to if you could take anything in?
I mean, very similar. I would say our Tomorrowland, as well, including Tomorrowland Speedway, like figure out what in the heck it is. It's a land without an identity. Like it's just, you've got Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, which makes no sense. Then you have the Stitch ride that's been closed for like probably close to a decade now that I'm surprised they haven't done something with. And then again, you got Tomorrowland Speedway. They are updating. I will say, I agree with Candid. They are updating like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. That'll be a much better ride when that's redone. They're going through like Big Thunder. It's like they're doing some stuff that they probably needed to do years ago. But I've been so I don't understand why with Tomorrowland Speedway you don't just do like a Tesla sponsorship and have electric cars in there, and just it's an easy thing to just make it the future. Like you can just throw those in there and it wouldn't smell like a go-kart track when you're walking through Tomorrowland. Like you almost get to Fantasyland, it just smells of like I grew up going to Branson, Missouri most of my life, and there's tons of go-kart tracks around there, and it would just smell like gasoline and burnt tires, and that's kind of what it smells like in there. It's just weird. So I would say Tomorrowland. Like figure out what you want it to be. I personally would say I like the idea of like an 80s stylized vision of like what you thought the future would be in the 80s. Kind of like what they did with like Incredibles and like the Fantastic Four movie, like a retro futuristic version of the 50s and 60s. Do that for the 80s. I think that'd be a good aesthetic to have in there. instead
cool.
of trying to. You're never going to be able to keep up with the technology nowadays. It all moves too fast. So just pick an era and do something cool. That's kind of what I would say.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And one thing I do love about your guys' Tomorrowland is you have a people mover still.
True.
Ours has been long gone. I think 96 is when ours closed, and the track is still there, just collecting dust. And you also have the Carousel of Progress, which I love.
That is true. I do like Carousel Progress, and that's going to get the Walt animatronic sometime, I think this year maybe is what they're going to do. So yeah, I've been saying this about Tomorrowland though for like better part of a decade, and it just seems like both East and West Coast, they just don't want to touch it. And I don't know why do you think that is? Do you think it's a budget? Like they just don't know what to do with it, or is it just become like a catch-all land and they just kind of throw stuff in there? Like I've never understood why they don't actually go in there and sort of reestablish those lands.
I don't really understand Disney World's. I'm not as privy to it. I've only been there once, but Disneyland's, it's very compact, and all these things are so interconnected. Like the people mover goes through Buzz Lightyear, the old America Sings building, Space Mountain, Star Tours, gift shops. Like it goes through all the stuff. So like for them to get in there, they kind of would almost have to bulldoze it to start over.
Right.
So it's a big undertaking. Even the submarines at Autopia, which we were talking about a minute ago, that whole thing is like that submarine attraction sits like Autopia goes over the submarine ride, like over the cave. So even those things are like connected.
Yeah.
So there's so much interconnectivity that once you like pull one thread, the whole thing kind of comes apart. And it's like Disney's like, nah, we're good. We'll just build Frozen Land or something instead.
Right.
There,
well, and that's the thing. I heard somebody told me that used to work for Disney that the building that the former Stitch ride was in, if they updated it, they would have to get it all to current code. And because it's an older building, they don't have to. But if they went and redid anything, so they would be the way those buildings are built. There's something about the structure. They would have to gut the whole thing, and it would cost them like I guess double the budget to do it. But I would say at some point it's got to be worth it to do something. I mean, Magic Kingdom is the number one. I mean, still Disneyland might beat it this year, but number one theme park in the world with attendance, and you just have this land that is just like your first impression when you walk in there is Monsters Inc. laugh floor. And I don't really think that screams Tomorrowland, like a stand-up comedy bit sort of thing. It's just, yeah, it just never made a lot of sense to me.
It is. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to have that in there, you know? Another weird thing while we're talking Magic Kingdom, I feel like with the whole like new Fantasyland thing, they should have gone in there and did the whole land.
Yeah.
Because some of it is like that old medieval stuff. But then you have the new Fantasyland. It's like a weird, there's not really much of like a cohesive thing going on with Fantasyland, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Fantasyland, when they redid it, I mean, it was better. But you're right. It's not completely cohesive. And I really would, I honestly, another one I wish they would do something with. I don't like Storybook Circus. I don't like circuses.
Yeah.
And you just have the Dumbo ride, and that's kind of it in there. And that's another one where it's a small area, but I feel like you could maybe extend Fantasyland into there or do something else with it. But I mean, it's not even our kids never have loved that area. Like it's just kind of it's got the Goofy coaster, and outside that, it's just a place they do dance parties for like when there was a Halloween party or Christmas party. That's kind of it.
It's in the middle of nowhere too. It's like kind of dead. Like
Mm-hmm.
I felt like every time I ended up there, it was because I ended up there on accident. I didn't walk to it. I'm like, fuck, I took the wrong way. And then I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I got to walk all the way to that back road to Tomorrowland. I'm like, man, I just walked all the way this way to end up in this weird ass place. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and plus this whole circus theme, I don't know. For me, that's like one step removed from like a carnival, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's like, yeah, come on, Disney. We can do a little better. Kiki and Luca here. Thank you so much, Kiki and Luca. We love you, brother. Gifted 1 OG 55 membership. Thank you so much, Kiki and Luca. We appreciate you, sir. Mr. Webba, what's on your mind? What attraction should Disney, either like, completely rip out or retheme, or what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. So there's actually quite a few, but first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to Kiki and Luca. What's up, dude? Glad you're here. So actually, before I get to Tomorrowland, I actually want to go to Fantasyland, and I actually want to touch upon Pinocchio. Now, Fantasyland, I love our Fantasyland. It's fantastic. Now, the reason why I'm saying Pinocchio is because they have pretty much touched up every attraction in this land except for Pinocchio. As Wonderland got new technology, Snow White got some new tech, Peter Pan had a couple refurbs where they got some new paint, polish, and tech. Even we just had Storybook. We had that come back open from refurbishment with the new Rapunzel tower. So everything else has been pretty much touched up except for Pinocchio. It's been the same ride that I remember since I was a kid, which is fine. It's a great ride, but I would love to see that attraction get buffed up with some newer, like a digital projection mapping or some newer audio AAs or some new stuff in that attraction to kind of expand uh the wow factor in the ride. And I think once you get that, then every ride in that land will have now been touched up. And why they haven't done it so far, I don't know. Very curious to me as to why they have left that out for so long. But hopefully one day in the future, I'm still hoping out. I'm hoping out for that they'll do it one day. The other
I
one,
actually got real quick before
okay.
you continue. Before we move on from Pinocchio, I actually think that they've been kind of kicking the tires on that one for a little while.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah,
because even the paint in there is starting to crumble just a tad bit.
well, yeah,
So-
and then we had that Rapunzel meet and greet over there for a while. They added her little tower thing right there. I think they've been thinking about it, and that's why we haven't seen. And I don't really know the ridership like numbers, but I'm sure it's less than like a Peter Pan or a Toad. So yeah, interesting. I love the attraction though. It is dark and creepy. It's like I like when Disney is like a little bit dark and it's kind of cool, And that ride is all of that, and it's really dope. So
Right.
go
Well,
ahead.
see, but that's the thing though, is like that if they saw Snow White Scary Adventures and thought they weren't getting enough ride output with guests, then they had the refurbishment, and now it has some dark moments, but there's some newer stuff in there that's more lighthearted now. They could do the same thing with Pinocchio, and then you would have more guests come on now because now it's newer.
Good point.
But now going to Winnie the Pooh actually. So again, I'm gonna
Oh.
leave Tomorrowland for last. So Winnie the Pooh. I like Pooh, as IP and everything, but they shouldn't have replaced that with Country Bears. I thought that was a mistake. Two, the ride is just I don't know, like 100-acre woods inside Bayou Country. That makes no sense.
Right.
And also we have a superior version in Japan anyway. So I think that we should get rid of Winnie the Pooh, put it somewhere else, and yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me in Bayou Country.
Well, that is kind of a weird. It didn't even really make sense before, even really in Critter Country.
No.
It felt a little off because like a British bear or like some.
What would you do there
bear.
though?
I mean, for me personally, I would do a Kermit dark ride. You can do the Bayou Swamp thing with Kermit. I've thought about this, Marcus. I actually really want this attraction. I want a Kermit the Frog dark ride in there, but it'll never happen. But we'll see.
Kermit the Frog dark ride. That would work weirdly. I would enjoy it. Dude,
Hey.
Those Muppets, man, they're hilarious too. They can touch anything, and it's just like the Haunted Mansion that they did on Disney Plus was fantastic. It was art. I think that'd be great. I just, like you said, it's never going to happen. I don't know how much of a draw the Muppets still have. I know they're getting their own new little location and stuff like that. So we'll see. So we'll see how that does over in Disney World.
Yeah. So I want to talk candid because I know you have thoughts on Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, a lot of thoughts.
You have a lot of thoughts on Galaxy's Edge. They're making some changes. They are, and for the better, definitely. We're getting some new eras. We're getting some cool stuff. Getting a new mission on Smuggler's Run. With all the changes, though, that's happening, do you have more that you'd like to add to that, or no?
I think that this is a great change of pace. Just recently going with my kids and Mike, which is also now my kid. I adopted him for the day. It was a lot of fun, but just going on the same ride over and over and over again, where I can go to Star Tours and ride the ride 50 million different ways. It just felt like it was really stale. And then walking through this land that just had this weird nothingness to it. And the only thing I will say is that we did get to see a lot of activity. There's a lot of stormtroopers and random characters walk around, which was really cool. When I went last time, I didn't see any of that. We also got to walk out when they're doing the show on the rocks. I thought that was awesome. that was kind of it. I couldn't go into the cantina, couldn't grab a drink. I barely saw any vendors. Any place that you'd go to get like the popcorn or food, it was empty. The only place that had anybody in it was the I can't remember what it's called, but like the main little restaurant with the small ass door to get in.
Docking Bay 7.
Yeah, that
yes.
one where you have to wait for everyone to come in and out because they only have like this little ass entrance to get in.
Mhm.
That was like the only thing that was really just had people in and out. Everything else just seemed like it was a giant space for no reason. Almost like they shouldn't have made this land here in California because it just took up too much space that they didn't have in the first place.
Well, it's crazy
Weird.
because, and you're right. It does feel like that. It does feel like a lot of space. It feels very like too big for what's in there. And I think a lot of that is because Bob Chapek went in there. He cut the Bantha ride, which I'll never forgive him for that. He cut the Bantha ride, and he got rid of that restaurant that we were supposed to get with the Twilight chicks. You know, I mean,
Vampires.
so the land was designed for more stuff, and then when you cut two of the big offerings out, it feels like emptier. So,
And do you think we'll get that at some point? I mean, there's still an expansion slot, right? Or like parcel.
there is? I think they should. I mean, you need to up the capacity. Oga's is doing way too much. Man, don't even get me started on Oga's because you go into Oga's and they're like timing you. Like,
I
you
was
got
gonna say,
45
what are you guys' thoughts on Oga's? Because I don't think it's. I mean, maybe it's
I
worth
haven't
doing
been in
one
there.
time. You never been there? It's
No, I tried.
well, OG's right. It's like you go in and it's like you're on a timer. They set you next to, like, you're very likely set next to people like that you don't know anyways. It gets awkward. The drink's overpriced. It's very small. It's okay, but it just, I understand what they're going for, but it is something that's just not quite it with it.
Yeah,
And I think I
Why
actually
make it
heard
so small?
well, that I think what I remember correctly, that was supposed to be like the lounge attached to a restaurant they were going to
Yeah.
do.
Right.
And then they
okay.
cut out the restaurant and just kept Oga's. And so you have this very tiny little space, basically.
Is that what that
Yeah.
weird building? There's like a building right next to it still. Anyways, I keep getting that place confused. I think I said it like 5 times the mic. I was like, is this the right building where the Oga's is? Because there's one that looks like it, and then there's one that's the actual building.
I don't think they ever built
I don't
the
think
building.
they did. Yeah, I don't think they
Okay,
built
so there's like this weird circular building with like it almost looks like something that we can't talk about on here. It's like round and it extends out, but there's nothing in there.
I think that's supposed to be just like decor. I don't think that's supposed
So
to
a
be
waste of space.
anything. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You're right about that. Like, I've had a lot of issues with Galaxy's Edge since it's opened. And a lot of it's a lot of space that's just not utilized properly. Plus, I mean, we're not getting the changes yet. I think they will come to Disney World, but it's like you don't have the Star Wars music. You don't have anything but sequel trilogy. I think Smuggler's Run is a good idea in theory. In execution, it falls very short most of the time. Rides of the Resistance is a great ride, but I've always had this feeling I'm walking through like Space Baghdad. It just doesn't feel like Star Wars. It just feels like, and I get it's supposed to be this, you know, this whole port where people come in and out. But I also think that was a mistake, and OG and I talk about that, where I think Disney a lot of times, instead of giving you like, here's the thing from the movies, now you get to experience it, they like to try and extend the story. And I guess that could be a decent compromise for like you're using IP, but you still have originality to them. But I think that Universal, the thing they've done very well, let's say the Wizarding World and like Super Nintendo World and stuff, is like, here's the stuff you know from the games and movies. Here, you get to walk into it. And I think that's what most people just want. Like, you don't have to overcomplicate it with this stuff. So I think they better go with like Tatooine, Hoth, the Death, you know, the Death Star, like all sorts of stuff they could have done that would have been like iconic. And the fact that you didn't have Darth Vader as part of this land originally, like, he's the greatest villain that's ever been in movies, and you don't have him in your Star Wars land. Like, these things like this just have never made any sense to me.
No, you're right,
Just put
Jared.
Yzma in there instead.
Yeah, Yzma, exactly, dude. I was just gonna say, I feel like we're repeating history here. It's like you have all these legendary villains, and you're going for the Emperor's New Groove.
I know.
Like, I mean, that's not a bad movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but like, out of that roster, that's one of the characters you're using, and you only have 3 rides. You only have three chances to do this, and that's one of them.
Yeah,
We'll
fucking
see.
weird, man. I don't get it. And I went on my TikTok and just grilled the shit out of it. And once again, I want the roller coaster, just not right now. and not there. Like, do something else. There's so many other chances you can have. I don't like it.
Well, also, I think too, it was a mistake to have two of the same galaxy's edges, like the same layout, same planet, same everything. Like, I think they should at least on each coast made a different Star Wars land.
Yes, they should have. They should have made different destinations. I agree with you on that. Absolutely. And that is one thing I will commend Disney on, though. It does seem like they're getting better with that, though, because we're not getting a clone of Pandora in Florida. We are getting our own version of that. And and also Florida Magic Kingdom is not getting a clone of our Cars land. So
yeah,
I mean,
true.
That's good.
I mean, that could have been cool if they would have done. And as Remy D said, wouldn't Tatooine look like Space Baghdad as well? Yeah, but at least that's recognizable Space Baghdad. Like, this is just like I'm walking through and I'm like, what is, like, I don't even know what this is. Like, it does, and again, it just doesn't have that feel. Yeah. Like, you don't, I think the music alone would definitely help with things. But what was the point you just, it would have been cool if Disneyland had maybe Hoth and then Disney World was like Tatooine. Like, you could have done stuff like that would have made you be like, oh, I got to go check out Disneyland's version and then Disney World's. But both the same thing and both being very just sort of I don't think is a great look. And part of this, I think I will blame. I mean, obviously, I think Kathleen Kennedy had something to. I mean, as undoubtedly she had something to do with the fact that they were just going to make it off the sequel trilogy. And I think that was the big mistake of this land, is if it was only that era of Star Wars. And I don't think most of the fan base wanted just sequel trilogy stuff.
And that's where Disney, Jared, to your point, that's where Disney made the mistake of putting all their eggs in one basket. It was like, oh, it's our new trilogy, it's our own Star Wars. Whoosh.
Well, they also made that decision before the new sequel trilogy movie even came out. Before Force Awakens came out, they decided to do it. Which I guess you could say that's confidence, but also the time that's pretty ballsy from a standpoint of you bought this franchise that is, if not the most successful franchise out there, one of all time, and you're like, no, our version we're getting ready to release is going to be the one that everybody wants. You're like, this thing stood the test of time for decades, and you're just assuming that nobody wants to see these characters that they've seen on screen for all this time. That's a lot of hubris.
Well, and this is the thing.
Go ahead,
OG. This is the thing. It's like Star Wars now is a multi-generational franchise. And so I'm fine with sequel trilogy being represented, but you also have to have the originals. You also have to have the prequels. Star Wars is a massive franchise. How do you have an entire 14 acres of Star Wars with none of the other eras represented?
Yeah.
And on top of that, dude, the music, you have John Williams, dude. John Williams. The music in this franchise is a character in and of itself.
Yes, 100%.
And you leave that out. I'm like,
if you took the music out of Star Wars, it's not really Star Wars.
Exactly. Exactly.
I got a question for you guys.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you think we were supposed to get two of them? Do you think that we're supposed to get two? And if we were not supposed to get two of them, which one was supposed to originally be the one?
Not like, oh, you mean like, oh, two lands?
Yeah.
I think honestly, this land was designed for Disneyland. Because you couldn't tell the way
Disney World.
I don't think it was designed for Disney World. Just like I don't think Tiana's was designed for Disney World either.
Most stuff isn't designed for Disney World. Nor was Epcot's overhaul, by the way. I will say that was clearly designed in California because they have this stage where they do this like Encanto show, which is a fine show. It usually goes on in the afternoon. There is no shade. Like, they've added umbrellas now, but we went there opening day with our kids, and you're just baking in like 95-degree heat, 110% humidity. I'm like, and like even our kids are like, I don't care. We want to go inside. And then like they have this also area where it's this out, like in this, they took out the Fountain of Nations to put this thing where it's like all this outdoor seating and it's open stuff, which is fine in the winter. These are metal seats with no airflow in the summer. Nobody's sitting out there. Like, it was clearly all this was designed in California, and they just never had a thought about, or anybody who spoke up and was like, hey guys, Florida's kind of hot. Maybe some shade, maybe, some air circulation in here. It's very clearly to me, they just designed this all to California.
So Jared, when you say they designed it for California, Are you saying that they have an $8 a gallon gas homage in that area somewhere?
I'm guessing there's some. That's where the drinks come in. That's where you're paying for the drinks.
Oh my gosh.
The first thing when they redid all that, outside of the original concept art and all the stuff that they took the budget down. The first time we walked through there, I was like, oh, they clearly like. I think it was Gensler, which they're kind of notorious for this like modern architecture that is soulless. It kind of has that vibe too. But I don't know this for a fact, but I'd be willing to bet a decent amount of money that all of this was designed in California. Nobody at any point was like, have you guys been to Florida? Because if you lived in Florida or been to Florida, which I'm surprised tomorrow, he's been around, has been like, we need maybe a shade structure here would make a lot of sense, given it's like by the midday, that sun is like sitting on top of it. Like it's crazy that there was no shade in that thing. And now you have this thing with littered with like, it's just rows of umbrellas. So it actually just looks worse if they would have just added an actual shade structure in there.
And that depresses me, Jared, because like I said, I've only been to Walt Disney World one time, but I went to Epcot twice. I made sure I went twice on that trip.
Yeah.
I love that park.
Epcot's awesome. Yeah.
It's awesome. And it's really sad to me that there was this perfect like shit storm. Basically, we had Chapek, the lady from Gensler,
Yeah.
and we had the pandemic.
Yep.
And this park gets screwed over again, and it's too good. It deserves better.
Especially did you see the original concept art of like Communicore Hall? It looked like a spaceship. It was gonna like multiple stories. It's gonna have this like garden area up top where you could go watch fireworks. Like it looked, and then the final product is just this like square building that looks like a rec dining hall. And you're like, and it maybe not have went over as bad if that was the original concept, but you saw what they were going to do, and some of it they did do. But then you see the pared down stuff, and you're like, okay, like they use it okay, like it's a flex space, like they put stuff in there for festivals. But when you see that original concept art, you're like, that would have been amazing to see.
Oh, I agree with you. And Josh Tomorrow, he had that interview with Bob Iger on ABC with David Murr.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was David Murr. Yeah, David Murr.
Yeah.
And he said he's a risk taker. And I'll take him at his word. I will. Now is the time. Like, that's what you need, a risk taker in that area to go in there and completely change the game, dude. That's what Epcot, that's the spirit of Epcot,
They won't touch Epcot again probably for it'll be a while, I would guess. I would be shocked. I mean, if that would be a risk if he did it, because that thing was also under construction for like 5 years. Like every time you went to Epcot, you had to walk around. Like it was annoying going to Epcot. You had all the construction walls. Like World Showcase was fine, but everything else was just like a wall of construction.
Oh, they're not going to put walls. They're not going to impact people from drinking, Jared. Believe me. That World Showcase.
Yeah, that's the moneymaker. You leave that alone.
We won't touch that. But did they fix the LED stuff, or is that still?
When I was there last time I looked at it, they didn't fix it. There's still screws in there trying to bolt it down. We weren't there at night, but the last I had heard, it was still not working properly. Which, by the way, it worked properly for like a week. And ever since then, even the lighting package, they weren't able to really get right in there. That's another thing that's annoyed me too. I'm like, just fix it. Just whatever the problem is, just go in and fix it or just get rid of it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
I'm a random. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
I was to say a random thought though. Like, Jared, how do you feel about having like random Guardians of the Galaxy or random, Avengers spotted around the parks?
For Guardians, you can kind of make it like where it fits in there. They redid everything where now these neighborhoods. I give Guardians a little slack because it's a great ride. And it's very like it is a really cool ride. But you can clearly tell that ride originally was just going to be a space themed coaster that they just sort of threw the Guardians stuff onto it like as an afterthought. You can kind of tell that.
Yeah.
I think that ride would have been just fine, even if it was just a space coaster. But I'm guessing after Mission Space, they wanted to put an IP on it because Mission Space has not aged well at all. So it doesn't fit really, but you can forgive it because it's a great ride, sort of thing. But it does. You're right. In Epcot, it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. No. Our winger here says I have seen an early screening of Hoppers, and I think it should go into the Tree of Life at Animal Kingdom. It fits better than Zootopia.
I agree. I actually saw Hoppers. It's actually pretty good. I was very surprised. It was funny. It wasn't preachy. It was actually my family and my kids. We all enjoyed it. So it's one of the, I would say, since Coco, it is probably the best original Pixar movie they've done.
I'm hearing really good things. I'm hearing really, really good things about it. You know,
And it would fit. I agree. It actually would make more sense in Tree of Life because that whole movie is kind of about the balance between humans and animals. Like it would actually be a perfect fit for that. But obviously, I don't think they're going to undo Zootopia at this point.
no. And I have a feeling that whole Zootopia Zoogather thing was a compromise that Disney made with Joe Rohde. Because I bet you they wanted to build the full-blown Zootopia at that park. And he was like, not while I'm around.
He said he was against that. And I agree with you. I think that was a compromise. We're like, okay, we'll make it a show. Because he had said numerous times before he did not want Zootopia like in Animal Kingdom like that. Because I don't really know Zootopia much. It's nothing I've ever really liked, but it doesn't really fit Animal Kingdom's vibe. Where Hoppers kind of does. Like that theme of that movie could definitely fit into Animal Kingdom much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So sorry,
ahead,
real quick. So if we're talking about like ecosystems and circle of life, why hasn't Lion King ever been put in?
Dude, I completely agree. I've never understood this, why you don't have a Lion King. You have the show, but like a Lion King ride would still put up, you still have insane waits for that. I don't know.
Talk about they do have Lion King. It's over in Epcot. You can go watch them show you how to throw away trash.
That's true.
And recycle.
Well, here's the thing: if they didn't do Indiana Jones, and if they weren't retheming Dinosaur to Indy, you could have rethemed those safari jeeps into a big Lion King e-ticket. Like, can you imagine that music? Circle of Life. You're riding those jeeps, and they're like
so watching it from the outside in, from like the outside looking in. So you'd be in the Jeep watching everything unfold.
Yeah, you would go. Yeah, you would go through it. Yeah, you'd go through it. You see Pride Rock. You see maybe even have the Stampede part.
That would be actually pretty awesome. So something like that. I mean, even the water. What is it? The thing that Paris is getting, like the basically Splash Mountain, which is a Lion King theme on it.
Yeah.
Even that would be fine. Put a water ride in this because that park is insanely hot in the summer, anyways.
Crazy.
Give you a water ride with some Lion King on it. You'd easily have it'd be a tier 1. Lightning lane. It'd probably have 90-minute waits constantly for it, if not more.
Absolutely. John over here making it rain. Mr. Make It Rain. John says, just do a Morgan Freeman voiceover in the Tree of Life and call it a day. No one would complain. Honestly, not wrong. It's very solid point.
Tree of Life. I can't really do a Morgan Freeman.
The Tree of Life. Remy D. The most overdue ride is an Aladdin Magic Carpet e-ticket. Thank you.
I also agree. Agree.
That's it right there.
That along with a Tangled boat ride with the lantern scene at the very end that they did. I was advocating for that ride for a long time. They did it. Wasn't Japan did it?
Japan, yeah.
That thing looks amazing. And that movie, like I still contend out of all the Disney princess movies because I had to watch it with my daughter. That is still the best Disney princess movie ever. It's a great movie, and that scene alone, like that would be an awesome ride.
Oh, yeah, it'd be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. James All Day here says Tiana's Bayou Adventure needs to completely go. That ride constantly breaks down. And here's the thing, James. Well, I've never been on the Florida version, to be fair, but I actually do like our version out here in California. It's actually pretty deep. It's good. But I will say this. We did a video, I think it was like a week or two ago with Vash Sky. And Vash was telling, I think it was with you, Jared. He was telling us that I guess the AAs are almost too complex for that moist of a show building.
Yes, I think Vash did say that. I had talked about that originally too. That an Imagineer had said that the original Splash Mountain animatronics were mnemonic, like they were very simple because that building in both coasts is like humid and damp. And these animatronics are very high tech and they're just not built for that environment. And I think that ride is going to be a problem in coming years because you're already having issues with it on both coasts. And it's not like those issues are going to just magically get better. Like, I think I won't be shocked at some point if they actually have to shut both of them down for a period of time and redo some of this stuff. Because it's a bad look to have that new of an attraction. I'd say new. It's a re-theme essentially. But to have this many issues, like it's just not a great look.
Well, and to Well, to get to the overall theme of this live, you can even improve upon that with add Dr. Facilier on Ellipso.
I know.
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
Well, apparently they didn't want to add him because of voodoo. That was the reason. Yet he is in Magic Kingdom where Tiana's by Adventure is, and the Halloween parties. Dr. Facilier is a major component of that. So there's even hypocrisy within the whole. Well, you can't have him in the ride because of all this stuff, and they'll make the stories after the movie and all this stuff. But he's a popular villain. Like, why would you not feature that character inside this ride? Like, just again, do a story from the movie and just put it in the ride.
Oh,
well,
100%.
And I think that's where again they just went too complicated. Like, why do we like here's saying I'm not like per se against like having a ride be a sequel, but when you have like the storybook right there, as good as it is, why do we need to go and make a whole new story?
They wanted to please people. Literally what I was telling you guys earlier. They wanted to please a certain crowd, and here you are. And by doing that, you cut some of the best things out of life, and now we have to be part of that life. So get over it, Mike.
No, I will not.
I fucking hated it. I went on it for the first time, and it just felt strange. The music wasn't good. There was parts of the show scenes that were missing. There was like nothing there.
Yeah,
and then you just kind of like ride. It's dead space where Splash was just kinetic energy the whole time. Like I'm jamming. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I can't wait to get to like the drop.
Well, Ken, here's the thing. The problem is that with this ride, they take this element of the story, right? Oh, we're gonna go look for our band players, right? The problem is they have all the audio animatronics in one section, like they're all conjugated together. Whereas in Splash, they're all kind of spread out through the attraction, so you have less dead space. Here, there's like 5 of them here, 5 of them here, 5 of them there. So they're like all in these pockets, and then you have dead space.
That, and then they also have the animatronics, then you also have screens for the characters. So there's like even visually, there's a disruption in like your suspension of disbelief, where it's like, oh, here's an animatronic, now it's an animated cartoon, back to an animatronic, dead space. Also, the story never made any sense to me, really. And by the way, I've tried to ride that ride in ours 3 different times. Every time I try to ride it, it's broken down. I had to be evacuated off that ride. I've still not ridden it fully as my adventure since it's been open, and I've tried numerous times.
Man, that's bad.
It's wild. Now, this is a great question. Actually, I've been wanting to talk about this on the channel. But the 2010 countdown said, by the way, is Disney Abu Dhabi still a thing, given that Abu Dhabi is currently under attack? Here's my take on that. The issues happening out there in that region right now is very much like right now, and the park, they haven't even broke ground on it yet. So the region's going to look a lot different. I mean, obviously regime change is coming. I don't want to get too into, and I'm not an Iran expert, but we're going to get a regime change. That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
So the politics, the geopolitical situation is going to be different by the time this new park opens. So I don't think it's really going to affect
more people are going to want to go now. I'm just saying that. And how weird is it that Disney all of a sudden wanted to make something like right now? It's kind of weird how sometimes things just happen. I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy. I'm just throwing shit out there, see if it sticks. But this does help people wanting to go. There's a lot of places that I don't want to go because of certain reasons. Like I want to go to the beaches of Mexico. Am I going to do that? Fuck no.
Same.
But
Mexico.
I'm not going to Mexico. But my thing now is that if I can go somewhere and I feel safe and I can just be normal and human, then hell yeah, I want to go. And I think whatever's happening over there, it's going to help get more people through those gates. So yes, I think it's still going to be a thing. And I think they're going to go full steam ahead on it.
What do you think, Jared? You're on the same page.
Still, I mean, like I said, this again, not to get political. This whole thing it's probably already over. To be quite honest, our military is insane.
It's over like day one, dude.
Yeah, like I know a lot of military guys in my life, and they were all telling me they're just like they don't even understand. Like they were even telling me we haven't even done our best stuff yet. We basically just been sort of like just playing around with them in a way. So I think this will get wrapped up. I think the way it'll probably go is you'll get kind of like Venezuela. Somebody will come in there that's more friendly. And then that whole region might have more stability, which will probably lend to like what Candid was saying. More people will go over there because of it. And then like Giant Adventures was saying, you get the Persian baddies involved, and then
Let's go.
you got World Peace.
Exactly.
Abu Dhabi Disneyland. There you go.
Exactly. No, hey, Peter, let's book that flight, man. We'll go save the Persian baddies. I'm down.
No drinking though, OG. What are you gonna do?
Oh, there's no drinking out there?
There will be
Can't
maybe
drink out
after
there.
this, though. You never
Oh,
know.
that's true. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely. But Mr. Webber, what are your thoughts? Abu Dhabi Disneyland, you think it's still gonna happen?
So I think it's still gonna happen. But unlike you guys, though, I don't know. I would probably be a lot more cautious if I was the one, like, let's say, running the show. I'd be a lot more cautious. I would probably want to wait on continuing forward until there was more stability before before I decide to partner up and put like my Disney branded name on a product out there where there could be potential for instability and some issues out there with things. So that's just what I think. Again, I'm not a war expert or expert on this whole thing, but I will wait to build the park until there's not so much chaos going on in the region.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I don't know what their timeline of when they were actually going to start construction on that, but I would imagine it might be delayed a little bit because of it all. But I don't think Bob Iger's going to be going over there anytime soon to take his pictures walking the sands of Abu Dhabi. But.
No, I don't think so either. He brought those brand new white shoes for nothing.
Oh yeah.
Like, I wanted to go again. Oh, maybe Josh is planning on doing it.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
He's got a bulletproof vest on, walking around the beaches, looking like Walt Disney. You're like, I don't know if that's the same vibe, but
Yeah, a little different. Raphael here says, I'd bet the park is fine, but I'm not sure it's not vaporware either. The way that park was used as Iger's final PR hit was weird, but free money and a test bed for Imagineering is great for sure. Yeah, no, the R&D stuff is gonna be amazing for all the parks because Disney's not paying for any of that stuff. It's gonna be a blank check. So
is there any?
Yeah, Disney's not paying a dime for it. So
no.
Do they have anything in place, kind of like they do in Japan, where they can't use any of the ride or tech or any of the?
I don't think there is. I remember hearing early on there wasn't a clause, but I could be wrong. I thought there wasn't.
Pretty sure Disney has full reign of, like, they get to choose what goes over there. Like, essentially, like, it's all being financed by the Saudi money, and then Disney gets. I think they also control how the park runs, and they get to do the Imagineering side. So to them, it's basically free money. And I don't really think. I mean, even if they knew, I would sure going in here that the Middle East is not a super stable area, anyways. So they can't be too shocked by this, I would imagine. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I mean, I'm sure there might be some PR, but for that region, I think for Disney, they would. Unless the people that are building it want to kind of pull out of it, I'd imagine Disney's probably still like, sure, we'll maybe delay it a little bit, but like we have nothing to lose in this.
Yeah,
How many
and
people actually go there though? Like, is it popular? Like that whole area?
In that region, I don't know about Americans going over there, but I think in that region they said there's a lot of money in like Saudi Arabia and stuff. Like they'll come. I think they said it's like 4 to 5 hours away from a lot of money in that area. I think it's supposed to be more of a Middle Eastern sort of place and not really a place people go to, worldwide. But I mean, that could change.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now I do want to actually, before I forget, one of my biggies for changing or updating, this area, and Webba, you might know this. This area has bothered me for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
Pixar Pier. I don't know. I don't like
gorgeous.
it. At night it is, but daytime, I mean, the Incredicoaster is like in bad shape. I mean, it's rusted and like it just doesn't look good.
Is that real rust or is that fucking painted rust? I could never tell.
It's real. Yeah, it's real rust.
So they refurbed the ride and did not repaint it.
They didn't repaint it.
Really?
Oh, man. That whole thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was fake rust.
No, that's real, and that whole thing was Chapek, and the whole thing was a discombobulated mess. Because it was.
What was it before?
I
heard you say you don't like it, but like, what is the reason like you don't like it in total?
Well, actually, it was better before because it was Paradise Pier, and they went with like a 1930s vibe to it.
Oh, that's.
And then we had like 1930s like Mickey and Donald stuff in there. It was kind of cool. They were kind of going in a cool direction.
Right.
And then Chapek comes in and says, "Nope, we're doing Pixar." But then here's the problem, Jared. Here's the issue. The Mickey Ferris wheel is like one of the most Instagrammed things on the planet. Like literally by the numbers, that thing is like a big deal, right?
Right.
So they don't want to change that. So they rethemed the back of it to be Pixar, but the front of it is still Mickey. It's stupid.
Really?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Jeez.
I don't know. I don't like. I would bulldoze that whole thing. I would leave the lake because you got to have roll to color still, and build like a Disney Sea type of like fully immersive like port or something really cool that feels more like Disney.
Oh,
you know,
the Disney Sea stuff is awesome.
Amazing. Go ahead, Marcus.
They say fuck it though, and they're like fuck roll to color, and they were just gonna throw some more money in there and just get rid of the water and just put something there. Do they still go Pixar in that case, or do you think they just try to do something else?
What, like just get rid of the water and everything?
Yeah, just replace that with more land.
Oh man, I don't know if I like that though, because I do think parks need to have the balance of like.
I don't know. Magic Kingdom's getting rid of their water. So.
That's why I didn't like the rivers going away. I was like, man, come on, man.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not. It could happen.
It could. No, it could. Maybe they will one day. Yeah, maybe they will. I mean, and the other thing that
space, it's possible.
What was that?
The lack of space they have. It's possible they could want to utilize it.
Yeah.
How often does the show run too? Doesn't that park close early? And I mean,
it closes like 10 or 11, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was like 10 or 11.
Well, I hope with all the new additions like Pandora, Coco, and all that, I hope it does extend the hours to like 11 or midnight at least. Yeah, because right now it closes like around 9, 10, maybe 11.
It doesn't make sense to stay all day though, right? For a quarter of a day park. So why would I want to stay all day just to watch a show?
Well, but right, see, that's the problem. That's why they're adding all the new stuff because DCA is not worth the cost, the same cost as Disneyland is. Disneyland is a stacked park. DCA is not. That's a problem. You can't have a park you're charging the same amount of money for right across from a park that's like basically superior in every single way, and then people are only staying there for like barely half the day.
You're paying to eat.
What was that?
Pretty much, you're paying to go eat. Like that's what that park's for. Yeah, or drink. Yep.
Yeah,
so you're paying the double price.
With Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom has never been, in my opinion, a full day park, and now with all this construction, it's like, what are you gonna do there? Like, we had somebody reach out to us, and they're like, they're going for the first time. They're like, they had little kids. They're like, is it worth going to Animal Kingdom? I'm like, there's not a lot to do with kids. Like, there's 4 or 5 things to do right now, and that's kind of it. I mean, you can go do some of the other ancillary things. I mean, I know you love Animal Kingdom, OG.
I love it.
For me, as a typical theme park, like it's not my vibe. I love Pandora, but until these things are done and seeing how those go over, it's like the same thing at DCA. It's like they even raised the price of Animal Kingdom this year with the park under all this construction.
Wow.
I'm like, that's a bold move right there. I know why they do it, because they don't want one of their parks to be viewed as, inferior, which is why they do that. But it's still just sort of like, you're going to raise prices at a park that's going to have, like, I mean, not most of it, but a lot of this park to be under construction for like 2 or 3 years now. Like, that's interesting.
Well,
that's how I felt about Hollywood Studios, though. I felt like when I went to Hollywood Studios the first time when they had the Great Movie Ride, I still felt like that was a half-day park, and that was my DCA. But then when I went last time, now having Mickey and Minnie's and what is it? Wow, Star Wars. It's still kind of, it's not a full day park still, but you're totally right. Like going over to Animal Kingdom, I love animals and I love that stuff, so I can sit there and watch gorillas for hours. But if you're really just to walk through there and do every single ride and just do a quick glance at things, you're out of there in a couple hours easily.
It's so funny that you say that, Marcus, that you can sit there and watch gorillas for hours because Jared's like, I hate watching animals.
Fuck gorillas.
I could care less. Like, I'm fine with them existing. And it's like, I remember my wife when we went to San Diego, we went to the San Diego Zoo because she really wanted to go. I was in hell. I was like, I don't care about any of this. Like,
that place is massive, though.
And I'm like, cool. Like, I mean, listen, I'm glad they're thriving or whatever's going on with them. And it's like, when you drive by the lions, I'm like, oh, he's sleeping again. Like, cool. Okay. Like, I don't get anything out of watching animals just in their, maybe I would if I was like in the actual wild. Maybe that might be a little different, but like in captivity, I'm just like, now, one thing I will say though, if you do stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, we did stay in a room where you get to see the animals out your window. That's kind of cool. Waking up to like giraffes and animals out there. But other than that, it's like, I'm not going to sit there and watch them for like hours. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I feel it is different when you see it out in the real world, like out in the real wildlife. Like even like when we went on the Disney cruise, like we would sit on the balcony, and surprisingly, a lot of like marine life. You would see a lot of like dolphins and fish, and like
that's cool. Yeah,
that was really cool to see. Like when you're looking out over the patio or whatever, and then you can see like the stingray, like belly flop and stuff. Like that's pretty sick, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. John Make It Rain here says San Francisco Square is DC's problem. I mean, I see what you're saying, John, because it kind of almost has a Pixar Pier issue where it's not really themed. It's really kind of almost just decorated, and there is a difference there between themed and decorated. It's kind of decorated, but for Disney, that area is not a problem because that area is packed all the time. It sells crazy alcohol money and food money. It's booming. They're not getting rid of that.
Honestly, it looks better than it did before, even though it is just like a little bit of makeup on it. I'd rather have that than what it was prior to it. So they didn't change anything.
So actually, I would attribute this problem actually just to a DCA problem, where the park layout is just very strange. You know, like the path you go to get to like to the different lands, the way that Pixar Pier just kind of ends in that back corner over there. Yeah, it's just an odd layout.
Is Big Hero 6, was that Pixar or is that just Disney Animation?
Big Hero 6 was Disney.
Okay. I'm kind of surprised they haven't done a sequel to that because that's also kind of a good. It does have some anime inspiration, especially with as much anime.
They have a TV show.
Yeah, like I'm kind of surprised they haven't done more with that because I actually like that movie. My big gripe about that movie is the way the brother died. I will say.
Oh, dude, horrible. That's like that hurt.
Why the hell would you run into the building was in flames in like seconds, and he's like, "I'm running in." I'm like, "Bro, you have a brother and your parents just died. Like a little self-preservation. Like you're just gonna go die. Like,
it was horrible.
They should have had a better death for him, I think, than him just running into a building and all that stuff. But I did enjoy the movie.
Yeah. No, and Candid, you're right. It's weird. It's a Marvel comic from like the 90s that Disney animation.
Yeah.
You know,
it was.
They
do have a show. They have the shows on like for a while. Then they had another season of Baymax, which did all right. So I don't know. They kind of did the same thing with Tangled too. Remember they came up with like the Tangled show, and that was a hit.
The Tangled show was terrible.
It was a hit. Kids loved it. Which ones? There's two.
Well, the first one they had is the show. I remember so my whole beef with it was Tangled is all about like Flynn Rider, like essentially like saves her. And so the show starts out with all of a sudden she's kind of wishy-washy on Flynn, and the parents are even like, I don't know about him. I'm like, what? Like this dude.
You're in love with this guy.
Daughter. And by the way, one of my beefs with Tangled is if I'm king and I see some witch grab my child and jump out the window, I mean, this movie is turning into Conan the Barbarian really quickly. And I'm going to be like, we burn everything till we find that child. Like, I was just like, come on, what are you doing?
It's wild.
Can you pull up Just Adventures real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
Jess, I just watched it live. I'm a big fan. I don't know if you ever want to shout out. We'll talk about it a little bit. But what's your thoughts on Danhausen and then Kim Kirsten and everything, and then the whole Dom and finally having Finn Balor switch? We needed that. All right, cool. That's all I needed. Sorry.
Absolutely. And hit this man up, Jesse. I don't know. Are you on? I think Jesse is on Instagram. But if you're on Instagram, Jesse, hit Candy Camper up. He's also on Instagram.
It's talking Japanese. I didn't understand a word you just said, but
I know. I know.
I know the 90s wrestling. That's all I remember. I know some of those.
And Giant Peter Adventure said we can be heroes. Yeah, we can be heroes, Peter. We can go save the Persian baddies, as you were saying earlier. Absolutely.
That's true.
You can have them.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna take one more, and then we're gonna get out of here. It's this time change is like really wrecking havoc. It's been weird. But 2010 countdown, I think Disney should partner with Sega to revive the Disney Quest concept for emerging markets like Southeast Asia, Latin America, and India. Now's the time. That might be not a bad idea. We have Universal doing Horrors Unleashed. We have Universal doing that kid park in Texas. We have Netflix houses. We have rumors that Paramount wants to make themed experiences on the Warner Brothers lot.
That's interesting.
Yes. There's a lot. There's a lot of these ancillary sort of themed experiences kind of on the horizon. So,
Although Sega apparently has plans to do their own Sega parks. Like,
they don't
I
have
did a
money for
video
that.
like a year ago where they're gonna do, and I don't know what type of park, but they have planned to not. They were saying they weren't gonna license out the property. They were gonna do a whole park on Sega, Shadow, all these characters, and just have a. Now I don't know what it might be a Six Flags quality, but that's apparently their plans. But
They don't have the money. They don't have the money for that. If they're smart, honestly, they would team up with Universal and get Sonic into the parks.
Oh, I
I think
agree.
that would just make a lot more sense for them.
I think that's the thing about anything. You know, we've speculated about other companies getting into theme parks. It takes so much money to not only build it, to run it. And I do think if you look at the amount of money Disney and Universal make, some other player will step up to try it, I think. But it would take a company like Apple or Amazon, like somebody like even Netflix, maybe like deep pockets that are willing to spend that money to do it. I don't see Sega doing it. And really, I think people don't want like Six Flags level of theme parks. Like they want like immersive stuff. And that takes a lot of money. I mean, billions of dollars to really do it right.
yeah, absolutely. Now, before we get out of here, John Make It Rain wants to know, Seymour, upper right. What? No, he's not Seymour, John. This is Mr. Weber. But he wants to know what do you think needs refurbishment? Like you I know you said.
How do we know he's not Seymour?
What?
How do we know he's not Seymour?
Oh, that's true.
I've never seen them both in the same room before.
I haven't either. Maybe he is.
What a surprise that Seymour thinks he needs. I don't know what Seymour thinks, but I will say this. I do know that Seymour would probably say he would want to see more Disney ducks in all the Disney parks. So
100%. 100%. Now, Webb and I actually recorded earlier tonight. We've been busy. Webb and I have been busy men recording a lot today, but we recorded a great Nintendo Mario Day video that will drop tomorrow, which is a banger video. I love that video. So that drops tomorrow. But we'll take one more comment and then we're gonna get out of here.
By the way, did you guys get your tickets to Mario Galaxy? They went on sale today.
Oh, interesting. No, I did not. Did you got Candid? Are you gonna take the kiddos or see Mario Galaxy?
I don't know what that is. What was
Mario
that?
Galaxy?
The new movie.
Oh shit! No, I didn't even know it was dropping.
Yeah, it's coming out April 4th.
Yeah, we'll probably go see it. I liked the first one. The kids loved it. So
yeah,
yeah, we'll do that. Why not?
And we got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Seymour Duck in the house with us today. Mr. Duck, always good to see you, brother. Always good to see you.
How did it pop up all of a sudden once we call Web out, right?
Webb
Interesting.
Webb and Seymour. I knew it.
Webb,
Is there a duck on his thing back there? There might be a duck back there.
I mean, you know, ducks have webbed feet. I don't know.
Conspiracy grows.
There we go. And then we got Remy D. Did I even see the first Mario movie? I did, Remy. I did see it, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really, really good. Yeah, I did see it. That was one I actually saw. Yep.
I like the graphics too, or the animation style was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
really, really good.
I think this one, if any movie has a chance to make $2 billion, it might be this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will. It'll get it definitely $1 billion, but it's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah. No, it looks great. It looks fantastic. Gentlemen, I appreciate you. Mr. Webber, if you can let everybody home know where they can find your Spidey ass on social media, sir.
Of course. You can find me on all social media platforms, Mr. Webber at Webcast Citizen. You can also find me right here on Orange Grove 55.
Yes, make sure you follow this man on all platforms. Jared, Capture the Magic. Always awesome having you on the show. Where can everybody find you? And honestly, do appreciate you hanging out late tonight. It is really late over there. So thank you, Jared. Appreciate you, sir.
No problem. I enjoy it. I usually don't go to bed till about 1, so it's not past my bedtime yet. But with the time change, I'm the same way. I'm like all out of sorts. But no, it's always fun. I love hanging out, talking this stuff, and if it's theme parks or pyramids or whatever, I always enjoy a good conversation. But you can find me at Cap the Magic. I do daily videos over there, social media as well. And then if you want some theme park tips and stuff for the Orlando parks, at CTM Podcasts, you can go over there and we had an episode come out tomorrow for Universal. We talk about most of the Universal news. So we did news and the theme park tips, so you can check it out over there.
There he is. And last but not least, Mr. Candy Camper, it's always good to have you on the show, brother. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Yep. Appreciate you guys having me on for sure. Let's do it again soon. Everybody go and check me out on YouTube and check me out on Instagram sometimes, but mostly TikTok, the Candy Camper. We're going to drop a new video when some of the boys get back from Florida. We're going to go over some of their stuff because we already did their most anticipated. So now we're going to see how they actually feel once they get back. So check it out.
Wait, you did a video with Tommy, Conductor, and Webba, right? About that?
Yes, sir. Yep.
When does that one drop so we can let everybody know?
Whenever I get into the Google Drive and drop it.
Okay, and let me know if you have any issues with that, by the way, because I suck at sending those.
And I suck at uploading, obviously, because I totally forgot. Like, it's already out. Go check it out.
I love it. All right, gentlemen, everybody at home, Remy D, Epic Berserker, James All Day, Mr. Seymour Duck, everybody that joined us, the one and only Giant Peter, John Make It Rain, Jesse Adventures, Bobby Lakes, everybody, thank you so much for watching this episode of OG55 Live. We will be back again very, very soon, talking shop like we always do. And until next time, see you later. Here is Mimi.
Thank you so much for watching OG55. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and become a member today.